Thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal, and those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest, and you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can, keep things clean, to do everything that is the right thing to do, rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back.
Next voice, when Arnold Schwarzenegger just stepped onto the view and walked out, leaving sparks flying in every direction. The former California governor didn't hold back, delivering blunt truths like only he can. The panel, caught off guard and scrambling to keep up. If you're tired of sugar-coated takes and want your commentary bold and unfiltered, hit that like button and buckle up.
You are an immigrant. You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing, when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was impressed by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21, with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that.
To Arnold Schwarzenegger might be the greatest immigrant success story in American history. He arrived in the U.S. at 21 with nothing but ambition, then went on to conquer bodybuilding, dominate Hollywood, and climb the ranks of American politics. So naturally, The View brought him on, likely hoping he'd criticize Trump's immigration stance. But what they didn't expect, a verbal masterclass. Arnold didn't show up to echo talking points. He came to set the record straight.
Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and this is the land of opportunity.
Arnold kicked things off by sharing what America means to him and how much this country has given him. It was a heartfelt tribute to the American dream, and the audience responded with warm applause. To the panel, it sounded like exactly what they hoped for, a celebrated immigrant praising opportunity and inclusion. But little did they know, it was just the setup. Schwarzenegger was setting the stage for a moment that would completely flip the mood. The real message? Still loading. And it was about to shake the table.
The thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal, and those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest, and you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can, keep things clean.
At the end of the clip you just watched, Sonny Hostin tried to jump in, but it was clear she was uncomfortable. You could see it in her expression. She expected Arnold to echo their narrative, but instead, he flipped the script. Calmly and directly, he reminded everyone there's a legal process for immigration, and that's the route every immigrant should follow. Like it or not, that's the reality. As his words sank in, the applause faded, and so did the smiles. Schwarzenegger didn't show up to pander. He came to speak hard truths, and when those truths don't match the narrative, things on The View tend to go quiet. Real quiet.
To make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do, rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, If I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back.
Schwarzenegger dropped another hard truth, and this one clearly caught Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar off guard. His message was simple. Immigrants in America should embody the spirit of immigration. Grateful, law-abiding, and committed to contributing, not creating chaos. He didn't sugarcoat it, and frankly, someone had to say it. Citing real data, he pointed to a 2023 Department of Homeland Security report. Over 56,000 non-citizen immigrants were arrested for criminal offenses nationwide. In Texas alone, illegal immigrants faced over 250,000 charges over several years. That's not a narrative the View panel was ready for, but Schwarzenegger didn't show up to play by their script. He reminded everyone that immigration is a privilege, not a pass to ignore the law. And when you come to America, you follow America's rules. Because anything...
I have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
The former California governor delivered yet another pointed critique that visibly shook the View panel. With calm conviction, Arnold Schwarzenegger explained that immigration shouldn't be about what you can take from America, but what you can give back. He confronted the entitlement mindset directly, reminding viewers that true gratitude is shown through service, contribution, and respect for the country that opened its doors. He asked a powerful question. How many immigrants have truly given back in return for the opportunity, freedom, and security this country provides? Schwarzenegger wasn't demonizing immigrants. He is one. But he challenged us to reflect. Are we raising a generation of contributors or complainers? His words weren't just directed at the View. They were a national wake-up call. And, as expected, Sunny Hostin wasn't thrilled with the direction he was heading. So she put
Keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that.
But don't forget, there's 90% of the people who come here are trying to do the right thing.
They're less likely to commit crimes.
And it's and a lot of what's happening right now is people are getting snatched who shouldn't be snatched out of the country, people who have visas, people who have all those things. So we want all the right people. We don't want people who are doing bad stuff.
But they are less likely, immigrants are much less likely to commit crimes in this country than actually American-born citizens. And the other thing I just wanted to say is that Governor Newsom did not ask for the National Guard to come to, the federal government to come to California. There are 9,000 local law enforcement officers in California.
Did you catch Sunny Hostin's hand shoot up, trying hard to interrupt, just as Arnold Schwarzenegger started dismantling their entire narrative? That's what happens when blunt truth meets carefully curated talking points. It gets uncomfortable, fast. Right on cue, she pivoted to a common talking point, that American-born citizens commit more crimes than immigrants. It's a classic. Deflection, change the metric, blur the issue, and hope no one notices. But here's the reality. This isn't about comparing crime rates. It's about upholding the rule of law. The core issue is illegal immigration, entering or remaining in the country without authorization. Whether or not additional crimes are committed, unlawful presence alone is a violation. Deportation, in this context, isn't a punishment. It's a function of legal.
If you were governor right now of California, how would you be handling the ongoing crisis that the state's facing?
Well, I think the most important thing is when you are in a leadership position like that, is that you are inclusive and that you work together with everybody. And so it means that you have to work together with local government, the state government, and the federal government. They have to work together rather than fighting each other. Fighting each other's agendas and all of that stuff. That doesn't do good to anybody. And so there's number.
Let's face it. Gavin Newsom has solidified his reputation as one of the most ineffective governors California has seen in decades. Instead of leading with unity and common sense, as Arnold Schwarzenegger once advocated, Newsom chose partisanship over problem solving. He aligned himself with protesters and took symbolic stances that fueled tension rather than easing it. In one headline-grabbing moment, he even dared President Trump to come after him. Less like a governor, more like a political showman. That's not leadership. That's theater. Real leaders de-escalate. They unite, take decisive action, and stay ahead of the crisis. Newsom? He stoked the fire, let the chaos unfold, and only offered a lukewarm apology once the political cost became too steep. But by then, the damage was already done. California needed a steady hand. What it got...
The National Guard is under the governor's supervision.
That's right.
Yeah.
But, like for instance, when the National Guard was sent to Iraq during the Iraqi war, I was not the one that said, oh yeah, go to Iraq. The Bush administration came and said, we need those people.
They came
and
to you.
They came
They
to us,
came to you.
and we need the resources, we need the equipment,
Yeah.
we need the weapons, we need the vehicles to ship to Iraq,
Yeah.
and then they ship
It's the
to Iraq.
coordination.
So
It's the
that's why I
coordination.
say it is very important that we work together.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who is asking whom. The bottom line is we work together in order to solve the problem.
You could practically see Whoopi Goldberg shift in her seat as Arnold Schwarzenegger dared to enter the no-go zone, defending President Trump's decision to deploy the National Guard during the protests. Calm, focused, and unapologetic, Arnold laid it out clearly. When civil unrest spirals out of control, the top priority must be restoring peace and protecting both lives and property. If deploying the National Guard is what it takes to end the chaos, then yes, Trump made the right call. Period. And just like that, the atmosphere shifted. This wasn't the scripted echo the panel expected. Arnold wasn't there to toe the line. He came with his own convictions. You could almost imagine producers behind the scenes scrambling to pivot the conversation or cut to commercial. But the moment had landed.
Have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president is spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade.
Okay, so we're becoming one of the worst places on earth, according to a woman who came from Somalia because President Trump had a military parade. But this goes deeper than that for Ilhan Omar. Of course, there's not much about traditional American values that she does like. She is constantly sounding off about the evils of American colonialism, American capitalism. A group of people have been brought to our shores over the course of the last 50, 60 years who really despise the country. And that is one half of the equation, not immigrants.
Ben Shapiro's words echo Arnold Schwarzenegger's with striking clarity. Immigrants should be grateful for the opportunities America provides, the freedom, the safety, and the chance to build a better future. That's the core of the immigrant spirit. Gratitude, not grievance. But when you listen to Representative Ilhan Omar, you often hear something very different. Instead of celebrating the nation that gave her a platform, she regularly criticizes it, calling it unjust, oppressive, and deeply flawed. It's a jarring contrast to the experience of millions who came to this country with hope and a desire to contribute. And it raises a fair question. If America is as broken as she claims, how did she rise to one of the most powerful legislative roles in the country? The contradiction is hard to ignore. Gratitude and progress aren't mutually exclusive. You can push for change while still acknowledging the opportunities you've been given, but constant condemnation without